Brats, you know me. I've been rocking the Oculus Quest 2. I was rocking the Oculus Quest 1 before, and I always go Frankenquest. For those who haven't heard that term, that means you use the Vive Deluxe Audio Strap that was actually made for the HTC Vive with some adapters on your Quest for the best headset pad. Well, people keep saying to me, get the replacement pads for it from VRCover. Get the replacement pads from AMVR. We're gonna find out today which one is actually a better replacement for it. So we've got the AMVR pad here, 20 bucks on Amazon right now. AMVR is one of these companies, everything I've tried from them, usually pretty good. They have some weird random accessories, but they make good third-party accessories. We got the VRCover brand one, and to be honest, even in the package, these feel like they're almost the same. Maybe one's a little thicker. So let's open up the VRCover one. This one on Amazon is $25. So in theory, this one should be 25% better. You get instructions for how to put it on. That should be pretty straightforward. And the VRCover pad, it's got some branding on there, Velcro that holds it on in the back, and it's all a pleather style pad so that your sweat shouldn't absorb right into it. AMVR, $5 less. You don't get any instructions. Apparently that's what the $5 is for. You just get a warranty card. AMVR looks a little more generic, no branding whatsoever, and a kind of a weird detail, but a little detail in the back. One has Velcro all the way to the edges, and the other, the VRCover one, just has it in the center where it's going to attach. The AMVR has a little bit more padding, so it's a little thicker. The VRCover has very thin padding, actually. Stiff and very thin. For me, sometimes I don't always like the thicker padding. I feel like it just pushes your head away more, but we'll find out. I will tell you right now, I'm pretty sure no matter what, one of these is gonna be much better, at least, because the stock padding it comes with is gross. It's very thin. It's very sweat absorbent, and it just hangs kind of weirdly. So that's the stock padding right there. And it also has this style that just attracts hairs, which is really gross when you let someone else use it and then their hair is all stuck in it. Yuck. Let's try the AMVR one first. I could take the whole thing off to install this. It probably would make my life a little easier, but I don't really want to take this thing off 3 times. So we're just gonna try and do it with it in here and see if it's really that hard. I'm having some regrets of not taking it off in this moment right now. Get in there. You know you want to go in. Oh my goodness. It's got so much Velcro on every side that attaching it perfectly is quite the chore. Okay, frick, AMVR, you win. Now at this point, I'm sure with repeated trial and error, we might be able to get it to feel like it fits better, but I definitely feel like the shape of the AMVR, it just doesn't want to sit in there as nicely as the stock one. You kind of have to keep like reworking it and hoping you're gonna get closer, but it definitely, a bit of a struggle to get in, I would say. Because you get it in and you're like, oh, this part's nice and smooth, these are smooth, but then back here, it's still not fully attached. So you gotta take your sides off and try and work it in back there, but you get that in and then the bottom feels like it's not attached. It's attached enough it's gonna stay on, so let's give it a try. So this one is kind of suffering from what I was afraid it might. The padding is so thick that it feels like the strap is no longer contacting your head. It's just this huge thick pad in between. Now some people might like that. I like to feel like my headset's a little more stable, and usually with a bit thinner padding, you get a bit more of a stability, but it is very comfortable. It's like, I almost feel worried that it's gonna fall off my head, even though it's not going to, as you can clearly see, just because it's like floating now off my head instead of feeling like it's gripping my head tightly. I can cinch it down quite a bit to help, and it is still staying in place very well. Personal preference, I'm not in love with the way it feels, but I would take this over the stock one if this was my only option, because I know that it's not gonna hold in my sweat, especially since Nat and I have been playing a lot of Supernatural and switching back and forth. It's definitely a little too thick for my tastes. The VRCover one, it might just be because it's a little thinner, but it definitely feels like it went in a lot easier on the first try. I'm still a little off here, so I'm gonna pull this out and I'm gonna try and move it over a bit. But because it's not so thick and it just bends easier, it feels like it's easier to get on there. I almost feel like after that first one, that one went in a little too easy, but let's give it a try. I definitely like the VRCover one a lot better. It's $5 more for it, so that may come down to a matter of personal preference, but for me, I like that I can feel that the band is there now. Thin padding is still padded enough that I feel really comfortable having it on. It feels really nice. You know it's strapped to your head. You know it's there. There's no questioning, is it gonna fall if I move like this? This feels like it's stable, but it's comfortable. So I like that better. It's $5 more, and this is definitely not a dig to the AMVR band. I would take this over the stock one absolutely in an instant. If I had the choice, I had the extra $5, the VRCover one's definitely the one I personally am gonna be sticking with. I really like it. Doesn't feel like it's gonna hold in the sweat at all, like the stock one. It's just a piece of cloth. And this thing, frankly, it's going in the garbage now. It's gross. So if you're looking and you're like, oh, which one do I need for my deluxe audio strap? Personally, I'd say go VRCover. Spend the extra $5. You're gonna be glad you did because it feels great. It fits easily. The only problem I kind of had when I first put it on was this part right here was pushing on my ear. So I just needed to push that up on the Velcro a little bit. So you might have to adjust it. And that could have easily happened with this one too. It was just the fact that I had it hanging a little low. It might take a few tries, and if you take the thing off to clean it often, you might have to rework it a little bit to get it back on there. But this feels really good and it feels stable. It feels like I'm not worried my headset's going anywhere on my head right now. It feels great. Thank you VRCover and AMVR both for making good products. But if you're choosing one, VRCover, that's my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you've tried them both, or if you've tried either, if you prefer it, or are you okay with that stock pad? If I wasn't playing active games so much lately, this wouldn't be a big deal, but that stock pad just soaks in the sweat. It's disgusting. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in another reality.
I want to say the biggest thank you to those of you who have become channel members and any of you who have ever been patrons of ours. Gallium VR, Chris Deputy, Legacy VR, Bagel, and a Fissy King Sloth are current channel members. Our patrons, K27, Rocket Sauce 28, K Panda K, Fred Nepatebo, Ege Karatosh, Maddie's, Gallium VR, Orange VR, and Mr. Dodojo. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting the channel.